Hello, I'm John Tanner, Global Technology Editor for Telecom Asia. The hot topic right now is content delivery, and here with me to talk about that right now is Carlos Gonzales. He's the Global Head of Content Delivery Network Sales at Ericsson, and joining him is Eugene Sarmiento, Head of Media Delivery Sales for APAC, also at Ericsson. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Now, Carlos, let's start with the latest developments in consumer insights for content delivery. What's going on?
According to our recent Ericsson Consumer Labs report, we see that TV is a multitasking activity. 75% of the people watching TV actually use mobile devices. And even more, 1 out of 3 actually discuss what they're watching in different social networks. We see as well consumers actually now willing to pay for quality of contents and convenience to access those contents. For instance, in countries like in Spain, where we have high piracy rates, we have seen a decrease of 20% in the peer-to-peer traffic going to the internet. And even more, we see a lot of stats on how data traffic is actually being increased into different networks. What we see is that in the mobile networks is even more critical. We have estimated in our Ericsson mobility report that the data traffic in mobile networks will actually increase 12 times from 2012 to 2018. That brings a lot of focus from our customers, the operators, on how to actually optimize delivery content on those mobile networks.
Now, Eugene, you cover APAC, obviously, so what are you seeing there in terms of operator challenges, requirements, and so on for content delivery?
Let's talk about first the multi-screen subscriptions globally. We see that there's an exponential curve when it comes to multi-screen TV subscriptions. And what we've seen is it's a growth from 95 million subscriptions growing to over 500 million subscriptions. And half of that will actually be in APAC. Now, according to our mobility report, the number of broadband subscribers in Asia will be the largest. So we have the largest LTE market actually in Asia or in APAC. And then in connection to what he said on global consumer studies, what we've seen is that 70% of all subscribers now actually use video on a weekly basis. From an APAC perspective, of course, is a different picture because that's a global number. From APAC, we see, of course, 100% growth in more developing markets. So if you look at the Philippines, they're growing from 10% to 25%, basically, is the usage of video weekly. For Thailand, it's growing from 15% to 30%. And then finally, for Malaysia, it's growing from 40% to 55%. So that average will go to the global trend, which is 70, right? And I think that there's going to be much more video consumption here in APAC moving forward in the next 5 years.
Carlos, anything to add from a global perspective?
I think, as I said, all these trends are actually becoming quite a challenge for the operators because they have more traffic to drive into the networks, and they're trying to challenge how to actually get more revenues out of that traffic. So there is quite a global trend, especially in APAC, where we see a lot of growth in the data side.
So what's Ericsson's approach to content delivery, and how is it unique compared to the myriad of solutions out there?
So our unique proposition is about having a unified software platform that can actually enable operators to have to activate or deactivate different techniques of when delivering contents. That could be caching, that could be optimization, that could be acceleration. And what is even more unique, they could actually make instances of this software, of this platform in different parts of the network. It could be the printing point, it could be the backbone, it could be radio networks eventually. That's what we see like very unique to our proposition.
What are the direct benefits of doing it that way?
I would say the direct benefits of this unified approach is first, you can have a consolidated, simplified network where it is easier to get savings when it comes to bandwidth, to backhaul, to peering, to radio spectrum savings. You can actually increase the quality of experience when delivering those contents because it's a platform that is service aware, application aware, user and device aware. And then finally, and this is very important, we see operators actually trying to drive monetization opportunities. And this platform brings the possibility of creating ecosystems where you can bring partners that can actually monetize or even create new business models for them.
So Eugene, are there any operator examples you can share with us in terms of content delivery and what Ericsson's doing with them?
Yeah, actually, we launched with Chunghwa Telecom, the first multi-screen solution for APAC 2 years ago. Basically, what it is an IPTV platform with CDN and multi-screen, right? So you had a lot of use cases around second device consumption. So that's world's first in Asia, of course, for us, and yeah, we launched that 2 years ago.
And Carlos, any other operator examples elsewhere in the world?
So last year, we launched the world's largest operator CDN, which was Telecom in Russia, where they are providing a wholesale service to their content providers in Russia. And this year, recently, we just launched with AT&T the world's first sponsored data service. Basically, what it means is that AT&T is actually be able to provide even more value to the subscribers by reaching partnership with content providers who are willing to fund the delivery of those contents to the subscribers. So that means that the subscribers can actually have a better relationship, direct relationship with the content providers without the hassle to think about how much it will cost me to consume those contents.
Well, obviously a lot to talk about with content delivery, but not nearly enough time. So Carlos and Eugene, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.